Alright, time to go check in with Amy, tell her that, yep, we're one temple away. I'm sure it's in a very easy, remote, theme park, nice little enjoyable stroll through the meadow.
Now, real quick, wait till
never.
Oh, come on!
Sorry, Amy.
You
now,
suck, you know that?
Now, what'd you say, Sealy? It sounded like you were trying to say something.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sonic, that was a cold move I just saw out there, Sonic.
Seriously, she's been a very patient girl. Give her something.
I mean, she's like the one female hedgehog on the entire planet. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to do that math.
I mean, I know a lot of people like pairing you up with Blaze, and, she seems like a fine person in and of herself, but have you seen what a cat and a hedgehog baby looks like?
I mean, don't
get me started on would people pair you up with the black hedgehog.
Oh,
Seriously, I do not see the appeal in that in the slightest. Why do they insist that it's such a good pairing?
I mean, honestly, I will say, as someone who is actually really good friends with one of the bigger Sonado supporters, I mean, I have nothing against the pairing myself. I'm just not into it.
I was gonna say, we're gonna keep talking because this is just another tornado stage, which the first one, it's exactly the same as the first one, but we're heading off because, yes, as we learned, unfortunately, Eggman is kind of smart in this, in that the last Gaia Temple is directly under his grand base.
I mean, smart play on his part.
So we're gonna have to break in.
Tails, you looking okay there, buddy?
Whoa! Oh, is he glitching out? Ah, well. But, now I'm listening to it again. I still love the music in this game.
This is nice music.
I mean, for as meh as these sections are, they do have some of the better tracks in the game, especially this variation, which honestly it's pretty much Bad Future. It's pretty much Bad Future take on it.
Oh yeah, that and I know and listening back to this game's soundtrack, I do enjoy it more than Forces with the variety of instruments used.
Oh yeah,
because this game actually has variety in its instruments.
I mean, I won't give the OST for Forces too much slack because, I mean, yeah, the only real big problem with it is that it could have used more variety in the instruments department, but otherwise I think that, the actual melodies themselves are fairly solid.
I'll give it cred, it's at least more memorable than anything Shadow had to offer, aside from
that's not too hard to pull off.
Oh,
yeah.
And
so, I mean, I will also say, though, I feel like with Sonic Forces soundtrack, it probably would have benefited more if it wasn't just, what was the guy, Otani, but, honestly, I think it would have been even better if, it was, a collaboration between both him and, Jutsuno.
Would have been good. Jutsuno did some good stuff.
I mean, if anything, it also proved, if anything, not just that, Team Sonic Racing kind of proved just how powerful an OST can be when you really pair up the best composers that the Sonic series has known.
Oh, definitely.
I need to listen to that soundtrack again.
It's good stuff.
Easily
something that should belong in an actual Sonic adventure.
I do still love the how it's not throwing any slack at Mario Kart. Mario Kart, whenever you get to the final lap, it's just a slightly up faster version of the normal song, but when you get to the final lap in Sonic Team Racing, they go bombastic.
Oh yeah, no, they kind of just get right to the point with that one. But otherwise, it's kind of like beating a dead horse at this point. But save for the rare few exceptions, Sonic soundtracks usually do no wrong.
Yeah, they got some good people behind them,
and hopefully it stays that way.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
So how about this flying music, boys? We got some good, nice little tunes on the radio.
I mean, it is nice music, but actually, going back to the stage in question, it's I must say, it's rather ominous that we're flying across what clearly looks like it can't make up its mind if it wants to be daytime or nighttime.
Yeah, I was about to say, how did he make it so that it's this eternal in-between of day and night?
Smog. And as someone who's been to very smog-ridden cities, yes, it can happen.
That's right. That AM is canon.
Machines are not. Eggman to me. Oh, speaking of that, Eggman is
the
definitely not what I would call an eco-friendly person.
I mean, yeah, it kind of goes without saying. And I'm surprised Sonic hasn't been suffocating this whole time, considering we've been flying in all that smog.
He can breathe in space. I think a little smog won't kill him.
The egg cauldron.
Yeah, again, it's the same fight again.
Not much different from what I immediately remember.
No,
Not
again,
really, no.
part of me debated keeping this entire stage in, but the fact that there were only 2 in the entire game, I decided, yeah, I might as well. But
Yeah, they,
had there been like more, had there been more, and had I had to do this every time we went to a new continent, I would have absolutely cut out some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
honestly, if I would doing this kind of crap for every single level would have been tedious.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they really kept it to a minimum. Jeez, oh jeez, come on.
So it also really goes to show just how inconsequential it was, considering you only go through it at the beginning and then at the end. It's like, it feels like the Madame Broody problem all over again.
Yeah, I
It's
can see that.
possible it was just a last minute thing they added.
Although now that you mention that, I also do want to say, like, I know I made the joke of the last one, but it's pretty applicable here. Hope you said your goodbyes to Tails, because once we're done with this level, we're not going to see him until, like, maybe one more cutscene and then the very end.
Yeah, Tails was really
Yeah.
not. Tails, I mean, beyond being Sonic's, taxi, he really doesn't have much to do in this game.
That animation showed me hype. It does ring true. I know it's a cynical viewpoint, but it's an honest one.
Well, I wouldn't
I
really
mean,
say
It's
it
an
was
honest
just...
place. Oh jeez.
Go ahead.
Oh God!
Okay, got him. He's dead. I almost thought with that subtitle, I thought he was gonna pull the shadow. Sonic.
Oh God!
Oh, there it is. The Land
oh
of
my
Oz.
goodness!
Wow. Yeah, welcome to Eggman's, like, he bragged about in quite a few games. He finally finished completing Eggman Land.
And it's pretty much everything that he's ever dreamed, much to our dismay.
Yep.
Land.
Go.
Oh, nice. You stuck the hero landing.
Close enough.
There it is.
I like the cut of this guy's jib. Maybe I should make one of my own lands.
Look at that tacky statue.
Heckle. Jeez. But who is this for? He doesn't want people to visit.
I think it's
who's
just an ego thing.
Well, yeah. But yeah, no, like, I see this and I just think to myself, Bowser sure loved this concept himself if he were to rip it off.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, just freaking.
This is gonna look
There you
good on
go.
my Instagram.
Yo.
Instagram.
He's just a child at heart.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess. And actually, I do realize this is also the game that sort of kickstarted that whole running gag of Eggman's laughter getting more and more.
Manic, yeah.
No kidding, Sonic. No kidding.
Yeah, it's like, I think it pretty much reaches his magma opus in Generations, where even his classic self is like, I grew up into an insane person.
Well, I guess we'll just have to tear it down.
So welcome
yeah.
to the last stage of the game.
Eggman Land. And, I mean, I know we're beating on a dead horse here, but this is the bane of every Sonic player's existence.
It is hands down the
Including
worst.
mine.
Yeah, it is hands down the worst level in Generations.
Is
At
let me
least by
unleash-
that.
Not even
Is,
just that, I would argue it's like literally the worst, one of if not the worst Sonic level, period.
It's a very
Yeah.
long stage, has a lot of hazards. Now, one thing I do like about this stage we'll get to in a second,
Oh, okay,
jeez,
good.
as soon as I get there, is, first off, I guess I should ask, is there any difference between Unleashed and this when it comes to this stage?
There is. Basically, in the Wii version, they do properly separate the daytime and nighttime levels.
Okay.
Whereas here, it's all meshed into one.
Which
Yeah.
you'll see. Again, I don't mind the concept, considering considering the mechanics that were introduced up to this point. I don't mind the idea. It seems like a pretty standard evolution of what we've already been facing, but
Problem is, the level design's kind of stupid.
I
you should have
mean,
made it a lot shorter.
a lot shorter and maybe a little more fair. Like, I mean, I guess to put it into perspective
Here we
here, Eggman Land is kind of like the picture city of Sonic history.
Really?
Because, for those that don't really remember our Rayman 1 commentary from way back in the day, although I probably wouldn't recommend watching that today because it's kind of aged, but,
Yeah.
Picture City, that level was kind of hell.
It
Yeah.
was. Oh, and also as you're seeing here right now, Pro tip for getting through this place with your sanity intact. Almost all battles in the Werehog stages are optional. So literally,
Okay,
if you want to
good.
just get out faster, just run past
So
them all.
unless you just really want to up your experience, don't bother.
So I guess now, you know what? How about we shift gears a bit here? I mean, all talk about it being a really painful level aside. Seely, would you want to visit an Eggman land?
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, you
Right
know what?
answer.
You know what? She
Actually,
might
no.
get more-
I wanted to word it more like
Get down.
no.
Whoop, there you go.
No. So, do you think, actually, this does raise an interesting point in my head. Nice. Do you think, especially with what's going to happen in Universal Studios with Nintendo, do you think that Sega would want to try and get some sort of theme park thing going?
I mean, they kind of already done.
Really?
I know that. I think it's called Joyopolis in Japan, where they have a few Sonic-related attractions and whatnot.
Huh. I'm gonna look that up. I'm curious. Not like I'm gonna be missing much while
I mean, they used to have a roller coaster that they named after Spinball, but honestly, I can't remember much else after that. But I just know that there is this whole Joyopolis thing that they have, which may as well be the next best thing.
See,
You
it's
know,
an
I'm
indoor.
curious.
It's an indoor theme park.
Do you think
Continue.
anyone's ever been bold enough to not hit that sundial and try to proceed through this part as the Werehog?
I don't think it's possible.
Nah, some of this platforming is not gonna. You cannot wall jump as that.
Well,
Yeah, so looking to
I'm
see
not
if-
saying actually get through it. I mean, just at least try.
Oh, I'm sure people have
Attempt to
tried.
do
It's just
it.
that they didn't get very far.
So let's see. They have the Gekion coaster. They have something called Transformers Human Alliance. It's like a little like VR thing. They have a
Again,
They
they
have
used to have a roller coaster based off Sonic Spinball before that got shut down. This part right here fucking sucks.
How come?
no,
What's
the
wrong with the rock?
roller
What's wrong with the roller
coaster!
coaster?
And they put that extra live right next to that teleportation tube for a reason.
Because get ready to hopefully not die in
Oh,
slalom around laser walls.
Oh God, no!
This part was pretty nerve wracking. Jump.
Eggman, I'd like to file a complaint about your ride.
Oh, don't worry,
Make sure-
I'll fix it up by the next game.
No. You say that. I would have gone more like for any complaints you'd like to file to the Eggman Enterprises, please proceed to the complaint center all the way at the very center of the theme park. Have a nice day.
disintegration. Oh jeez, it's just a disintegration chamber.
Actually,
Made
oh, I just thought of another one that's funny. It's like, if you have any complaints about the park, please take it up with my co-producer, Metal Sonic. And you just see Metal Sonic just cracking his knuckles.
That is one of my favorite.
And he's literally wearing a monkey suit.
It's one of those lines I like from. Do you guys remember this movie called Igor or something like that?
I know about
it,
Igor.
but-
Yeah, I think I've seen a bit of it actually.
It's like, all right, if anybody has any complaints, you may take it up with my human resources department, headed by the giant freaky monster girl there. And it's just a giant, massive, like mongoloid Frankenstein creation.
Yeah, I've seen bits of it. It looked kind of boring.
It just looked like it was
okay.
trying to. It looked like it was just trying to follow a trend, and it didn't really do much else.
It's okay, but the plot is very like it moves a little too fast, and it's like it's one of those moments where while you're watching it, like by the 2/3 mark, you're like, wait, what kind of movie is this trying to be? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, move this. But yeah, so they have something called Sonic Athletes, which is you're running on a treadmill to play. It's basically like that Olympic Games thing that James and I tried. They have a House of the Dead attraction, which is basically like a premiere version of the original House of the Dead shooting game. They have an Ace Attorney thing there. Let me look into that.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm looking this up. They have an
Have you
Attack on Titan.
have you ever want to yell objection to an arcade machine?
They have an Attack on Titan attraction. They have Mystic Man. They have
Now you
Mystic
too
Mansion.
can be Potato Girl.
Yeah, let me see how this
like
Ace
that
Attorney thing
name.
works. Ace Attorney. Wait, what?
Oh, they were responding
Huh.
to my joke about what?
So Ace Attorney, it literally is something where you walk in. They have it's separated into different chapters, and it literally is something where you go into an actual room and you actually have to like investigate like Phoenix Wright's office and like try and find evidence to like reveal during a court case. Like it's like a full simulation thing.
That's
So
kind of cool.
it's literally an Ace Attorney escape room.
Yeah.
I would say more
Nice.
like maybe less an escape room, but more along the lines of you know those like dinner murder parties? Kind of something like that, but Ace Attorney themed.
I'll find some photos to share with you guys after
I love
this.
dinner.
It's-
I love dinner theater.
This is why
Don't
like
mind me, guys.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I really do not have time for this.
You
Thank
really
goodness
By the way,
there's
the-
another base section.
Oh boy.
By the way, the food here stinks.
We know budget
You
cuts.
know,
It's like, oh yeah, it is
we
true.
have feelings too, you know. I worked hard on that goulash.
Jeez. This part I did not like. It's me. But yeah, no, I'll find that. This is why. But this is why I really enjoyed. This is why I really enjoyed that Konami like put together that like Metal Gear Solid escape room thing. Like, so, I like the idea of like just deposits me.
Oh,
out.
that's right. It's on the. There you go.
I do like. Yeah, I do like the. Let me out. I like the idea of like moving things to a more physical sense. I feel like that's the future. Is this augmented reality, not VR stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll agree to that.
That's why the theme park. That's why the theme park thing looks pretty fun to me. What they're gonna try with that little Yoshi animatronic looking all cute.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm really curious as to. I joked about it before, but you can't tell me I'm wrong. I want them to make like the merry-go-rounds like they do in Sunshine,
Yeah.
like the little Yoshi
Also,
merry-go-rounds.
also, not this part, but this next room. The next room we're coming up to. That was the part I hated the most.
I think I know which one you're talking about. And if it is the same one I'm thinking of, yeah, that can go kiss my ass too.
The huge, long, tall room where if you fall down, it's just you just go back. Come on. Thank you. This room right here.
Oh yeah,
This room I tried. There are so many different like bonus paths you can take. This, thank God, there's a lot of opportunities to get 1-ups because no, this room I messed. This is also the room where I hate the fact that if I want to just do a single short burst, I want to just do a single. Oh God, if I just want to do a single short burst like a homing attack, it's the same button as doing an air boost, which sends
yeah,
me
it's like
rocketing
again,
forward.
why fix something that wasn't broken?
I know, and I fell down, but here we go.
I mean, that's like the one thing that people in the Sonic community will say constantly. It's like, you didn't need to fix this shit.
You need precision platforming to make this kind of stuff work, but thankfully, we're getting close to the last section.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Just,
no.
yeah, levels
Oh,
can last
shit.
a long time.
Eggman robots! This just in! The Hedgehog has made it to the complaint center! I repeat, the Hedgehog has made it to the complaint center!
Grab all complaint forms and shred them on my command.
And quick, someone awaken the secretary bot.
Hurry! For God's sake!
We only have so much time!
Here, this is a little trick. You can actually go up here and not activate that sunglass yet, and we can actually skip some of this section here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because, yeah, no, I am not going to, like... Werehog is fun, but Werehog is slow.
There.
I'll debate you on the
Push
Werehog
through.
is fun part.
As long as I can keep on to some rings, I will boost through all of this to get out of here. And here we go. We'll start here. But, again, this concept of, like, swapping between the two, I love this idea to keep this versatility of, like, showing that we are literally using any and all means to break into his fortress. I love that concept.
Yeah.
This level could have been half as long and nobody would have been upset.
Yeah, and not to mention, I mean, I've already brought up my complaints on how the Werehog controls in the first place. Like, if it handled better and it was more, you know, finesse-focused than, you know, outright beating the shit out of everything in your wake sort of focus, I think people wouldn't be giving it as much of a hard time.
Again.
Also, if it didn't
fair.
control stiff, but...
Owie!
You know, I'm
This
starting
live
to
physics
get freaking... I'm starting to get CTR vibes with these tubes.
Owie!
I can see that. Ow.
Ow.
Get
Talk
me
about a
through.
close
Thank you.
shave. No pun intended.
Yeah.
A close shave that, like, hit me. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip this. Just get me out of here. I think I gotta kill all these enemies to proceed.
Anyone
Wait,
get the number on that Eggman robot?
get the number of that
Yes, that
dog
number
caught.
happens to be your obituary.
Ouch, damn.
Wow.
Eggman, do you,
Wow,
maybe Chip
Eggman,
was,
you're mean.
maybe Chip was right. Are you just
How do I
bored? You just
know?
want to hang out? Do you just want to hang out?
Are you
Chip was
lonely?
on something there.
Are you eating your feelings?
eating?
I
Somebody
have
get this
nothing
girl-
wrong with me. I'm perfectly fine.
Ow, ow, ow.
Unlike you keep getting caught on that blade.
Jesus, get me out of here.
I'm sorry,
dying.
going back to Amy.
Also,
to
I was
Jordy's thing,
referencing
it's-
Sonic Boom
I know.
that one
And
episode.
I was No, Jordy. I was gonna follow up that. Somebody get her away from me.
I was also thinking of the freaking like
Sonic, bro to bro.
You know what? Just what's funny is about
that phrase out of context.
It's probably a
is
different
great.
episode, but actually I remember. It's the episode where Eggman crashes at his house and Amy's trying to like defuse the situation.
Yes.
I remember a time when Amy was like, "When you say this, it makes me feel this." I always mishear it as, "When you say this, it makes me feel pissed."
Pissed. I'm just wanting to tell you that everyone's tired of your bullshit, Eggman. I mean, really. Nobody likes the robots. Nobody does.
Well, I like the robots.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
I
didn't count
like-
as somebody.
Well, we'll tell that to Orbot and Cubot. We'll tell that to them.
And they just have like they're programmed
puppy
to
dog.
dilate their eyes to look like dog eyes.
Can you tell these people? What kind of monster could tell these people that they don't belong?
Me, get out.
And I was about to say, Eggman. I distinctly remember you saying at one point that they have no souls.
Well, it's called tough love.
Ouch. Come
Stop
on. Okay.
getting hit, Sonic! It's
See, do you have-
painful!
See, I gotta make sure you get involved in this somewhere. Do you have frustrating levels that you just cannot stand? That they're part of a game you love, but there's just that one part you just do not like.
Oh,
Trying to
God.
think of one off the top of my head.
Well, how about one from Ocarina of Time, since we just finished that at the time of recording?
You don't like Shadow Temple.
Yeah, Shadow Temple's one of my least favorites. My least favorite Youngling
Oh!
level would have to be the Darkest Cavern.
Oh, because
What's
we were
that?
doing it right around the same time. That one bit of Dawn and Dusk.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
the Dawn with the guards.
I was gonna bring that up, but I felt I was gonna bring that up, but I felt like that would be
Excuse
too
me?
obvious.
Well, no, I mean, well, Jordy wasn't there. Yeah, there's this part, Jordy, where they take the guard they take the guard sections. Which okay, here we go. Finally, the final area.
Thank God.
Anyway, about the guard
it's
sections.
It's really rough to begin with because it's like it's already hard because if they catch you once, you're immediately voided out. But then you have to pair that up with you're on an in-game timer trying to keep this torch lit, unless Celia used the exploit that she did, and then there is the fact that
Those stupid electric witches!
and then there's the geez, stop it. Yeah, the actually witches suck.
Just
And
throw a
stun you.
barrel of water at it and let him die!
Go
I
ahead,
don't-
We
Logan.
can't do that yet.
There aren't any water barrels here.
This
I got
is
two
gonna hurt.
water bottles right here! I'll throw them myself!
Oh,
Don't
that's
do
right,
that.
you-
Don't do that, Jordy. You'll
wait a
ruin
minute.
your computer screen.
Logan, you were saying?
Just that,
I'm
yeah, it's
sorry.
very rough, and the fact that there's no good camera
He
control.
destroyed the secretary.
Oh,
shit,
actually,
that's right.
I'm so sorry. I lied. That is actually not the finale. There's one other room because that was the secretary hype, but now it's time.
Quick, send in the supervisors.
Oh, you're right! The
But sorry,
supervisors!
But yeah, sorry,
So-
Celia, you can continue.
Surely they will beat
So,
him. Yeah,
the
let's.
guards-
Anyway, go with that.
It's just
you
another
saying-
battle. Go for it. Die.
What were you saying, Logan?
Just the guard thing, and it sucks because there's no camera control. There's no real camera control that works for that section. There's no way to tell where they're facing. It's not like Sly Cooper or Metal Gear Solid where you can like immediately tell where they are, where they're gonna be. So it's a lot of guesswork. Which yeah, I did not know about that exploit. Thank God that exists.
And just for those of you that are curious on what the heck we're talking about, stay tuned in a couple of weeks from this video, and you'll know exactly why Seeley has some post-traumatic stress over that whole event.
Almost
Let out your
done.
frustrations, it's okay. I just did it for
I
several
sound
times.
like a baby!
Jump.
You know what, Seeley? What you felt over that section is how we feel about Eggman Land.
It's just, again, the concept is there. It's just, it all comes down to like too much of a good thing, and also the fact that they can just knock you the heck out and not.
Yeah,
have any ways
these
of
guys are
really dealing with that.
monsters.
They're
my shield
both
up.
figuratively and literally.
Keep my
Yeah,
shield
exactly.
up and
And Doctor,
Oh no!
I have
He
bad
destroyed
news.
the supervisors.
I was going to say
Oh,
he's
I
coming
do
right
have
for
another-
us.
I have another level to bring up that frustrates me.
Oh, yeah, what?
City in the Sky from Twilight Princess.
Oh yeah, that dungeon is very tricky because so all the pits you can void out in.
Yeah.
And all the
it
claw
just
shotting.
seems like a nightmare for those that can't platform very well. Like
Give me that Earthshaker, and can I get any other cool abilities before the end? Vertical Werehammer, and yeah, nah, I don't have the patience to grind to get all the stuff. You're already fine enough. So Yep, with that said, join us in the last part as we're going to reach that final Gaia temple and hopefully put a stop to Eggman's crazy schemes.
Put the world back together fully. Till next time, guys.
Bye.
Well, you know what they say. If you want to kill your nemesis into a bloody pulp, do it yourself.